It's that time again. We kick off the 2019 football season here on CCX Sports from Barbara A. Lehman Stadium in New Hope, home of the Cooper Hawks, as they get set to take on the Waconia Wildcats in a very good first game matchup here on CCX. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Joe Basil. And Joe, both these teams coming off really nice years last year. Both were 7-1 in the regular season. Graduated some really good players on both sides, but they also have some experience and some talent back, and this one should be a dynamite first game.
First of all, Jay, great to be back with you, and yeah, I couldn't agree more. And you know, it'll be contrasting styles. Typically, you know, Waconia wants to run the football and Cooper wants to spread it out a little bit. Waconia seems to be a senior-laden team, and Robbinsdale Cooper is going to start a 10th grade quarterback tonight, so it'll be interesting.
Yeah, both teams, really a lot of skill position players are new, not necessarily new to their programs, but new to the starting lineup. So we're going to get a chance to see a lot of different guys, you know, handling the football, whereas some of the strength back for both is on the defensive side and on both lines as well.
Exactly. Yeah, and as you told me earlier this evening, Cooper has 3 O-line returnees, which should really bulwark their offense. And yeah, it's going to be, Willie Howard's done a great job here at Cooper, got the culture and everything going in the right direction. The head man at Waconia is his 3rd year, and it should be a good battle. It should be a good battle.
Cooper this year switching into the Suburban Red sub-district, so slightly different opponents. I don't think there's much question. It's a tougher slate of teams that they're going to be seeing. Now, there's good and bad to that, but I think in the long run it might be good for them in terms of getting ready for playoff time to not have, you know, a few of those games along the way that you kind of know going in that they're going to probably be able to walk away with.
I read a little bit earlier today that in terms of ratings, this is probably going to be one of Cooper's, if not their toughest game this year, one of their toughest, and I couldn't agree more. I think it gets you tournament ready.
Both of these teams have done some good things in recent seasons as well, but kind of looking to get back into the state tournament. Cooper, the last 2 years, losing in a section final. They've only been to state once. Waconia has been to state a couple times, but that was in the fairly distant past now anyway, too, in the mid-2000s. So both of the teams, I think, in that way are kind of looking to take that next step from being a really good program to one that can reach the Final 8 in Class 5A.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it'll be the last game you and I did here. We had Spring Lake Park Cooper. Spring Lake Park kind of a run downhill team, not unlike what Waconia, so it'll be interesting to see how, you know, Cooper adapts to that this evening.
All right, should be a good contest tonight. The Wildcats and the Hawks get set to do battle next. And stay with us here for the season opener of Prep Football on CCX Sports.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
And we're getting set for football here. They're jumping the gun a little bit, starting early in this one as Cooper's Manasseh Williams getting set to kick it off. And he'll boot it away to about the 15-yard line, fielded there by Carter Keenholtz for Waconia. And he spills out over the 30, and the Wildcats will have pretty decent field position here to start things out on their first possession of the night. A little bit of a wind certainly going to be a factor. Not as hot as it often is for openers, which I think that part's good, but definitely windy enough to, I think, impact the kicking game especially, but probably the throwing game a little bit too. There's Colin Currier, the senior first-year starter for the Wildcats. Going to look to hand it off on first down, and Stapleton is stopped immediately there. Is coming up to meet him, Shondell Carter. Tim Stapleton carried the ball just a few times last year, excelled for Waconia on defense, but he's going to be kind of their featured back to begin this 2019 season, and a short loss of a yard on the play for Waconia's Stapleton to begin the game.
I think we're going to be saying his name a lot tonight, Jay.
And we will get a whistle here, and our first penalty of the 2019 season is going to go against Waconia.
In talking to Coach Shea before the game, he was telling me about Stapleton on both sides of the ball. He's their kicker. I jokingly asked him if he also drives the team bus. He said yes, he could.
Well, joining us on the sideline again tonight and this season is Allie Mosley. Let's go down to Allie.
Guys, a brand new season, a brand new scoreboard, brand new helmets, and this Cooper team is feeling brand new. 140 high school athletes came out to play Cooper football this year. So I asked Coach Howard, what are your feelings coming into the first game of the season with that kind of an exciting turnout? He said, discipline and execution. I said, those aren't feelings. And he said, yeah, but it's what it's going to take to win tonight. But that's just typical Coach Howard. He's always focused on going 1-0. As you guys mentioned earlier, Cooper graduated some of their top skilled players, but their confidence remains. Offensive coordinator Tony Patterson told me, yes, we dropped in experience, but we did not drop in talent so far this season. Guys, these are two talented teams that will make up for a really great kickoff to the season.
Thanks, Allie. Stapleton, a short gain on that play, so that a loss and then a penalty, putting Waconia in a spot they don't like to be in as a team that likes to really pound the ball at you. They are facing third down and long here from about the 26, 27-yard line. They need 15 for a first down. Courier looking to throw. He'll go out in the flat, juggled and held on to, but nowhere near enough to even come close to pushing that one toward a first down as they threw it out to Stapleton. Joe Law and Malik Wilson coming up to meet him, and he really only gained about a yard on that play.
Cooper has to really like the way they're playing on DJ, the very first series here. Really stifled Waconia, who really wants to run the ball and be a downhill type team.
Ryan Dvorak on to punt here for Waconia. And gets a pretty good boot away, taken on the 41, and drifting back now is Joey Law, and that one did not pay off as he is dumped by his counterpart, number 3, Cole Hedberg. And so they'll lose on the return. Generally not what you want to do is get started in that opposite direction there. He thought he had a chance to kind of go wide with it and get around, but it didn't work out.
No, Hedberg really closed on him, and he was trying to get around the bend over here, and Hedberg would have nothing of it.
So Joe Russell, the sophomore quarterback for Cooper, they'll start with the football on their 30-yard line. Good field position, but not as good as it maybe looked like they're going to be after forcing that punt. But excellent punt coverage by Waconia. Russell throwing on first down, and he has an early completion. So he hooks up with Manasseh Williams. As you get a look at the Cooper offense with the sophomore Russell starting, and then 3 returning O-linemen, as Joe said, a key thing for them. They'll pick up 8 on that first down completion, so second and short.
Great idea for the young quarterback and the offensive coordinator for Cooper to give him some confidence and run that little stick route.
Oh, the ball juggled, but Sherrod Russell hangs on and will get the first down and more out over the 45-yard line. Didn't have a super clean mesh point there as he juggled it just a little bit, but he's giving his O-line some pats on the helmet here. Watch Russell just juggle that one through, and he cut it up nicely before he was wrapped up there by Todd Jager, but it is a first down for Russell as he gains 7 on that play. So Cooper, so far so good. They're at their 45, first and 10. Back to Sherrod Russell on the handoff here. Pretty well defended that time, as wrapped up by Max Kalenberg for Waconia, and they'll limit him to a gain of 3 on that one. As you see the defense for Waconia, and a very veteran group in terms of grade, although not necessarily a lot of them played a ton last year, or they were more as backups, but still it's guys that have come through their program and have waited their turn and done well on the lower levels and now are ready. Joe Russell's pass, and that one was tipped. That one could have been dangerous as Keenholtz got a piece of it.
And one of the things we talked about pregame Also, Jay, was the battle between Bennett Weber, the nose tackle for Waconia, and Walter West, the center for Robbinsdale. Should be something, a good battle to watch tonight.
3rd down and 7. Russell's going to flare it out. Oh, and I think that one might have been lost in the sun a little bit. Joey Law was looking back, and I don't think he picked that ball up very early. And you can see, obviously, a good chunk of the field is in shade, but a little bit is in that bright sunshine. And I'm just speculating, but it certainly appeared that he had trouble picking that one up.
I think so. And also Max Kallenberg came in on a blitz. They blitzed him from the defensive left side, and that gave the Cooper quarterback not too much time to think about it.
Fair catch called for and made, so not a super long punt, but a good one actually for Williams, as he'll pin Waconia back at their 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 here. Cooper gets 1 first down, but then they are forced to punt after Waconia had to punt on their first possession without a whole lot of yardage gains. So the Wildcats get the football back for the 2nd time here at the 20. No score on the board. The brand new and fancy scoreboard here at Cooper. They've got the video board and obviously much easier to read too in terms of all the numbers. So certainly appreciate that, and good to see that the new board here up and running here for opening night at Cooper. Courier will hand it off to Stapleton, and wrapped up and thrown down there by Nico Easley.
You know, and anytime you're making 4 yards on 1st down, 5 yards in this case, you got to love that. You got to love that, and that's going to be Waconia's game. Kind of running out of a power pistol formation tonight, Jay.
Yeah, you get a true lead block with a little bit of momentum coming toward you, and that can be tough thing to handle. So a nice gainer there for Stapleton. They go right back to Stapleton, right side, and the ball came loose at the end. Let's see, was he down? No, it's picked up by the Hawks. Cooper will come up with the recovery, as Stapleton looked like he had enough for the 1st down, but then coughed it up. And the first turnover of the game will put Cooper in a pretty good position here, as you'll see this ball come out right as he's just about to go down, and then scooped up.
Right near the end of the run there, Jay.
Yeah, Carter with the recovery for Cooper. Shondell Carter grabbed that one up, and he never actually really had to even go to the ground with that one, but he was down when he picked it up. So from the Waconia 30, see if Cooper can take advantage of the turnover. Not on this one. Joe Russell is wrapped up and dropped by Keenholtz, as the snap was high, and I think he maybe intended to hand that ball off, and then at that point he just had to kind of accept the loss there and lost 5.
Russell did a great job, Jay, of just catching the football in that case. It was a high, quick snap, and he did a real good job showing his athleticism of just catching the ball.
And then by the time he realized that he had the ball, he looked up and there was already defender Keenholtz right there, and then tough to get out of that one. So Joe Russell this time a deep drop, plenty of time, but nobody open initially. Now he rolls out to the right and run down. Nice tackle in the open field by Hedberg, who had a nice tackle on punt coverage earlier. So this is going to be, let's see, did Russell get back? Maybe a yard gain, as he just got over the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, Hedberg showed some real good speed laterally there, Jay, to corral the quarterback for Cooper, Russell.
Good protection early, but also pretty good coverage downfield. You look at, just kind of glancing over the field, there was nobody that really was, an obvious open target that he missed or anything. So 3rd and 14 now for Cooper. Russell under heavy pressure, and down he goes. He is sacked. As coming in off the edge there was, guess who? Hedberg again.
And I think one of the things that you see, especially in a game 1 situation, Jay, the defenses are always a little bit ahead of the offense. It's a cliche, but that's why it's true, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think we're seeing a little bit of that tonight.
So Cooper unable to take advantage of the turnover that they forced, and will have to punt it away as they actually go backward on that drive. Williams getting set to boot it. Ooh, the snap is high, and he just got it away under pressure. Pretty good kick again, though. And stumbling forward with the fair catch there for Waconia was Jaeger at about the, let's see what they'll spot at, 13, maybe 14-yard line. So considering how high he had to go to get that snap, that's a pretty good kick.
It really was. Yeah, it really was. And he kind of kicked it over to his right. I'm not sure if it was a directional, on-purpose type of kick, but the young man from Waconia signaled for a fair catch anyway, but he helped his defense, or he helped his coverage guys out by kicking him into a corner there.
There you see the Waconia starters for Coach Corey Shea in his third year in their program. A little more of a spread look this time, 3-receiver set. And they're going to come with a reverse. Pretty good block out front, and then a hard hit lowering the boom there as Morgan Ryskoski took that handoff. And it's a nice gainer for Waconia, but I'll tell you what, he paid the price at the end of this one.
Yeah, more of a jet action on that, and possibly Waconia's biggest, certainly their largest gain, biggest gain on first down tonight, Jay. Showing that jet action.
Yeah, they've been coming kind of straight at him for the most part, and that time give it a little different look, make him think a little bit too. So 2nd and a couple now for Waconia. Courier looking to throw, and it is complete. And will be enough for the first down as he found Keenholz. Law wrapping him up immediately, but a nice safe gainer there, and they get the first down.
Yeah, exactly, just a one-step quick hitch, move the chains, nice tackle by Law from the Cooper Hawks. Nice short tackle out there.
So out to the 27-yard line now, 1st down and 10 here for Waconia as they pick up their first down of the night.
And the first time they put the ball in the air, I think, too, Jay.
Second, yeah.
Oh, a second? Okay.
There's the handoff going up the middle. Not much doing this time as Max McAnally, the freshman who Coach told us was going to see some time. He said, we're mostly seniors who have worked our way through, but when you got a really talented guy, you got to give him the chance. And they said he's worked hard, and all the coaches kind of conferred and said, yeah, we think he's ready. He needs to play for us.
Yep, exactly. And when you bring a freshman up like that, you need to play him. Otherwise, leave him with his class.
Short loss on that carry, though, and it'll be 2nd and 11 now for Waconia. And looked like some confusion. The Wildcats are going to use a timeout as he was a little unsure, looked like personnel-wise or alignment-wise there, so better safe than sorry. Take that timeout in the early going. So 4:05 to go here in this first quarter as Waconia takes a timeout. No score on the board, and season opener for both teams obviously here tonight, and most of the teams around seem to be playing Thursday. I remember, in past years it felt like there was a little more of a split between some playing Thursday, some Friday, but it seems, at least in our viewing area, that pretty much everybody other than the Benil Red Knights, who are playing Friday night, will have that game for you as well. They play Friday, but the rest are going at it Thursday night.
And most of this game so far, battle of field positions, Jay, and Waconia has been on their end pretty much most of the game.
Back to the freshman. McAnally trying to get to the corner and tiptoed along the sideline. Didn't get much. He spread out pretty well there by Cooper. He'll pick up about 2 yards on that play, it looks like.
Cooper has done a real nice job, I think, Jay, of flying to the ball and being gap sound tonight. Waconia, again, according to Coach Shea, wanting to be a downhill run-first team, and Cooper's really denied that tonight. Looks good so far for the Cooper D.
3rd down and 9 here for Waconia. Courier looking to throw, fires, complete, and they'll have enough for the 1st down. Nice little move after the catch there as well to pick it up by Jack Fritz. So 1st down for Waconia as we get another look at this one. We got one kind of procedural change. I don't know if a rule change so much as procedural. Allie's going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, guys, new to the state of football in Minnesota this year is the mandatory implementation of a 40-second play clock. The clock will begin at the end of each play, not at the spotting of the ball. This is being enforced both to speed up the game and also because some teams may have been feeling like other teams were given added time over others. I asked Coach Howard what he thinks of this rule, and he said, honestly, I've always thought we had a 40-second play clock. He kind of carried that over from college football. So they've always implemented that kind of offensive feel anyway. And guys, we were talking before the game, for some teams, this could really benefit them, and some teams, Joe, as you and I were talking about, might be a little bit more of a challenge.
And, you know, the other thing I think sometimes it gets overlooked, too, this is the officials' first game of the year as well. And so it'll be real interesting to see, you know, how they handle it and see how they process that whole situation with the new 40-second rule.
2nd and a couple after a nice gainer there on 1st down for the Wildcats as they push toward midfield here, trying to get a little drive going. Stapleton takes the handoff, and he will spill forward into Cooper territory, and that'll be enough for a 1st down as he picks up about 6. So the Wildcats starting to get things going their way a little bit on this drive.
You can just kind of see it and feel it a little bit, Jay. They're finally getting a little bit of rhythm. The little hitch pass got him started, and then the freshman. I've been impressed, and Coach Shea told us that we would be impressed by that freshman. I love the way he hits the hole, and of course he's got Stapleton back there as well, and they got a good stable of backs there.
Yeah, a couple of back-to-back runs, one by each of them there to get them into Cooper territory. Back to Stapleton off the left side, breaks a tackle, and into the secondary he goes before he's dragged down very close to another 1st down. He got past the linebacker level, kind of ran through an attempted tackle, and it will be enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, it was a real tough run off the left side. I'm not sure if that was power football or basically just kind of zone blocking there, but they're definitely getting some momentum and getting out of their end.
Stapleton checks out. Down to 1:20 to go in this 1st quarter. Waconia putting together the first real drive of the game for either team, as we are still at 0-0, but they've got some momentum going now at the Cooper 38. McAnally had a little trouble taking that handoff, tripped up. Nice play to reach out and get a piece of his ankle there by Cooper's Godbold. And that one might have gone for a little bit more if it wasn't for that. See if we can see him get the ankle here. You see the handoff was almost dropped, but watch right there, Godbold getting down on that left ankle and holds him to 2.
Exactly, or it could have been a lot more. You're right, Jay. Could have been a lot more. And sometimes you're gonna see the mesh point tonight too, because again, first game, you're gonna see some of that. Even though they've probably been repping the heck out of it all preseason, you're going to see some of that on the first game.
And I feel like that's exaggerated more now that you see virtually no hitting in practices compared to years ago. You know, and I think maybe the nerves or just that feeling is a little different in this first game because of that. McAnally ran through a tackle there and then finally brought down by Kirk Henderson. It looked like they might get him for a loss, but he showed some, you know, above freshman strength there maybe to run through that one.
He did. That play looked ugly at first, Jay, for Waconia, and then he was able to, like you say, keep his legs moving and at least get back and get a decent, decent gain on the play.
So we've reached the end of the first quarter. Waconia nothing, Cooper nothing. We'll be back with our second quarter here in the season opener on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
We change ends here to begin quarter number 2 as Waconia nothing and Cooper nothing here in a matchup of, again, teams that had nice years last year. Waconia was 7-2, Cooper was 8-2. And they've got some graduation loss on both sides, but definitely some good players back and some guys stepping in that they're excited about. Waconia facing a key third down coming up as they are at Cooper's 33-yard line. And as we said, best drive of the night by far for either team so far. And they'll see if they can keep it going. Going to go on the ground. McAnally is spun around and he'll not reach the line to gain, obviously, there, although they do pick up pretty good yardage, and I got the impression that could be because they were expecting to go for it on fourth down. Well, we said earlier that we were sending it down to Allie Mosley. Our fans who have watched the last several years know that she used to be Allie Alt until this day. Recent wedding, and is now Allie Mosley, so congratulations. And forgive me if I accidentally call her by old last name at some point during the season. I can't promise, but Allie Mosley down on the sideline. And there's a look at the happy couple.
There's the couple.
Here we go, fourth down for Waconia. They're going to go back to McAnally, the freshman, and he'll have enough for the first down. Wow, a gutsy call and a gutsy run. Joey Law will make the stop, but not until he picks up the first down.
And I think that says so much about the Waconia, the trust that they have in their freshman running back right there, Jay, to be able to on a fourth and relatively short, 4th and 3. And so far, the other thing that I really like about this kid is he always seems to be going north-south. Even when he gets tackled, he'll fall forward for maybe another half yard or so. Some mark of a good running back.
I think some confidence in that O-line as well there to keep the ball on the ground on that play and see if you can get it. Hand off back to McAnally again as he drags a tackler or two with him there. Stopped by Godbold and Ambler for Cooper. And he will pick up about 3, maybe 4 on that carry. Pretty
close to 4, and again, that's what you want if you're a run first team. That's all you're looking for: 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards, and plus it starts to wear the other team down. I mean, I'm sure Cooper will be fine in the early going here, but about the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, this starts to wear on you.
Well, that's one thing I kind of touched on it earlier. I think compared to most season openers, some relief to not see the hot, humid weather where you see guys really dragging or getting the cramps a lot. I don't think that should be too much of an issue tonight. Courier's going to keep it himself this time, and trying to rip the football away was Carter, but not quite able to do it as Courier hasn't been called on as a runner prior to that one, but he will pick up a nice gain. Not quite enough for the first down, but they'll be third and about 1.5 yards.
Yeah, and he kind of got spun ahead there for.
Yeah, actually, it ultimately worked out better because they were kind of going for the ball more so than getting solid contact on him initially here.
I think it'll be interesting to see too, Jay, as the game progresses here. So far, I think Cooper has tried to, with maybe 5-6 guys in the box, try to handle the running game. They might need to get somebody, one more person in the box.
McAnally will pick up the first down with ease inside the 10-yard line as they go off right tackle, and he'll pick up about 8.
Yeah, he definitely runs hard. He does not look like a freshman running back.
Boy, you see that real nice cut there before Andler was able to bring him down. So it'll be first down goal to go from the Cooper 8 now for Waconia as they try and break this scoreless tie early second quarter. Again, really first real drive for either team. The defenses had been fairly well dominating things up in the first few drives, but now Waconia has really got something going with a consistent ground game. Stapleton takes the handoff up the middle. He goes, he reaches, and he is in for the touchdown. Waconia with its first touchdown of the season as Stapleton able to reach the ball over the goal line there, and the Wildcats are on the board.
Old-fashioned power play here, Jay. I want to see on the replay if it was number 61, Mateo Ramirez, who pulled out and led the way for the score on that one, but old-fashioned power football right up in there.
Stapleton, the kicker as well, gets his kick up, and it is good. So with 8:35 to go in the second quarter, it is Waconia 7, Cooper nothing, courtesy of this play.
Yeah, from that angle, it was hard to see, but here we go. You'll see the left guard, there he's pulling around. It was Ramirez. Did a nice job of walling that defender off, and Stapleton takes it in.
So Stapleton getting the first score of the season here for the Wildcats, or for either team. He had one touchdown as a rusher last year, but again, most of his work was as a defensive player a year ago. And I think probably in respect to the fact of how much he'll play on defense, they're spreading the carries out with he and the freshman tonight. I think they have confidence in both of them, but you don't want to overwork a guy, especially on night number 1.
Right, exactly. And I like what they're doing so far on offense in subbing those guys back and forth. They're quite a good running back combination.
So Cooper now trailing, but they will get the football here and try and get something going as Stapleton will boot it away. Kicks it low and hard, but caught on the fly. And a nice move. Ooh, and a solid open field tackle, though. Getting to the return man was McAnally, actually, on the the kick coverage there after the return by Khalil Borden. Remember, Nas Borden having some great runs for Cooper. This is his younger brother. He got a good return just out over the 30, but he went down in a hurry when McAnally came up and met him.
Yeah, it really turned out, I kind of expected a little bit more with that line drive kick the way it was, Jay, that it might be returned for a lot more.
Sherrod Russell taking the handoff from Joe Russell. Keenholz on the tackle there after a pickup of a couple. 3 carries now for Sherrod Russell for a total of 12 yards unofficially here. So 2nd and 8 for Cooper. See if they can answer the nice drive that Waconia was able to put together last time around.
Yeah, and so far it's been a pretty good balance, I think, of run and pass for Cooper.
Nice cut there by Sherrod Russell. He ran into a little bit of traffic, and he just kind of kept the legs going and made a slight turn to his left. And
yeah, he showed a nice little shake and bake right there, and kept it going north-south.
Bring up a 3rd down and 3 here for the Hawks, and they're at a spot on the field here where I don't think you probably would be looking to go for it on 4th down. So this is a pretty key 3rd down. Going to go back to Sherrod Russell. And then he will be close, but I think short. So it looks like they're spotting it on the 40. which will leave him about a yard short.
This will be an interesting call here by Cooper, huh?
They are calling for the punt team. Yeah, I think if you were about another 10 yards farther, you would strongly consider going for it, but
I agree, and it's early. You don't want to do anything foolish right now, because you're certainly, there's a lot of game left, and you're still in this game big time.
Vanessa Williams, the punter here for Cooper, and again a high snap. This time good protection. He gets a nice kick away. Fair catch called for and made by Ryskoski. So a little bit of wind eating that one, I think, too, but it'll be back at the 30-yard line for Waconia. So Cooper, the start of a drive, but then have to punt it away. And the good news, though, is they got another pretty good punt, and they'll pin Waconia at their 30. 6:34 to go here in the second quarter. Waconia leading at 7-0 here on CCX Sports.
It was a nice job that time, Jay, of the Cooper punter getting the ball to turn over and getting some nice distance on that punt.
Courier is going to run this one, gets a pretty good block up front, and he'll spin out to about the 36-yard line, so give him 6. That one was definitely quarterback run all the way.
Quarterback draw all the way, Jay, and he was flanked by both running backs that time. First time they've showed that formation, and a nice run up in there.
Looked like Tyson Gothman got a pretty good block kind of on the edge there for him to help spring him there as well. Got locked up on the defender, and that's a bad feeling when they get to you and get their hands into you, and you're kind of helpless to stop it at that point.
All offensive coordinators like second and short, relatively short too, Jay.
Handoff left side, this time going to Hedberg, so he becomes the third tailback to handle it there for Waconia.
Yeah, not much on that one.
Yeah, that was one of Cooper's better defended runs of recent series here. So third and a couple here for Waconia.
Yeah, Hedberg, one of the, outside of course of the freshman running back that we've been talking about, Hedberg, one of the few underclassmen that's playing for Waconia this evening.
Going to go back to Hedberg here, and he will have enough for the first down as he bounces that one off left tackle to about the 43.
Yep, came right back to him.
Cut down by Jaden Beard there, but not until he had picked up the first down with ease.
Right now, this is exactly what Waconia wants to do, Jay. This is the last couple series here. This is exactly their MO, and we'll see what Cooper can do to stem the tide here.
Hand off to Stapleton this time, and again some pretty good drive blocking. Stapleton will be just over the 50 into Cooper territory. Give him about 6 on that one. Yeah, and we talked about this, I think, in that Spring Lake Park game a year ago, that in some ways it's almost more demoralizing for the defense when you give it up in chunks like this than if there was one big play.
Absolutely, absolutely, and it is very demoralizing, and again it can take it out of a defense just little dribs and drabs at a time, but they're picking up big yards here and setting them up for second and short.
A little bit of a sweep look that time, and going to be enough for the first down with ease again here.
They came back with that jet play that they had used early in the game, Jay, and
Ryskoski carrying it again. Yep.
Yep. And both times they made money on it. They've used it relatively scarcely, but both times made money on it. Right now, I would say that they definitely have Cooper on their heels a little bit, and maybe, I don't know if befuddled might be too strong of a term, but But they got Cooper guessing, and you never want to be guessing on defense.
First down from the Hawks, 42. Back to the young running back, McAnally there, and pretty well defended this time. He'll be stopped after about a 1-yard gain right there. And you know, it's obviously still a lot of game to go here, but if this drive feels pretty important toward the end of the half. If Waconia scores again, they go up by 2 touchdowns into halftime. If Cooper gets a stop here, though, they get a little momentum perhaps to carry them into the third quarter.
Right, and finish off the second half. One of the things that Cooper did on that one, they finally committed to 7 guys in the box, which is between the tackles, Jay. And now they actually have, they're back to 7 guys in the box. They're blitzing a linebacker.
And we've got a flag down here. Not everybody heard the whistle. Most of the players still kept going. Second penalty of the game only, which is nice to see. I mean, it tells you that these teams have been pretty disciplined here tonight and pretty sharp for the most part as well. Waconia picking up its second penalty, but a lot of times opening night you see kind of a flag fest.
Yeah, and I was actually thinking about that earlier today. What kind of along those lines, what kind of a game we were going to see tonight? Because sometimes you see a first game like this that's sort of fraught with procedural penalties.
Bring up a second now and 14, which that really kind of changes the complexion of this drive quite a bit, it feels like.
Yep, and this is not where Waconia wants to be with their run first offense. We'll see what they do with it.
And we've got another flag down. Got movement by the Wildcats again. Maybe we spoke too soon about the solid execution early going here.
Might have jinxed him, Jay. Well, and as what you said too, I think with Waconia going in the wrong direction, may have to punt the ball, give it back to Cooper before halftime, and see if Cooper can put a nice little drive together.
They go to Stapleton left side. Stapleton getting free, and down the sideline he goes before he's finally pushed out. And let's see, there's going to be a late hit as well tacked on. So
yeah, that's going to add insult to injury on that one. First of all, he got the sticks, and then of course the extracurricular right at the end of the play. That's going to help Cooper.
About a 24-yard run, and then the late hit delivered there by Wooten after he had stepped out of bounds is going to tack on some more. So wow, this drive has gone back and forth in a hurry here.
Yes, it has.
The Waconia couple penalties pushed them back to the point where you're almost thinking like maybe they're just going to run the timeout here and not have much chance to score anymore. And instead, this penalty will push them down to the 14-yard line.
Yep, and they're threatening and knocking at the door. And as you said, we've kind of had a little bit of a roller coaster drive here, Jay.
And certainly plenty of time for them at 1:31. They have used a timeout earlier, but
and they can pick up a first down here, Jay.
Courier looking to throw, firing over the middle, and incomplete. Wanted to go there to the tight end, or one of the tight ends, Braxton Lean.
Yep. Big number 99 there. I love the call. Play action.
That one he should have had. And then he took a pretty big shot there from Wooten for his troubles as well.
And if you're Cooper, you have to honor that play action because they've been running the ball so well and running the ball so much. Just couldn't hang on there.
Lean, fair to say by his build, possibly considered more of a blocking tight end, and that one he was just unable to hang on to. Stapleton takes the handoff here, and inside the 10 he'll go, and kept dragging tacklers with him. Short of the first down certainly, but a nice gainer though.
Yeah, the Mr. All Do Everything Stapleton, they definitely like what they're seeing over there on the left side. They're making a lot of money. They're making money on the left side over there, Jay.
3rd and 3 coming up here for the Wildcats as we go under a minute to play in this first half. Going to come back to Stapleton, breaks a tackle and is in for the touchdown. Stapleton will run it in from 7 yards out.
Yeah, this O-line from Waconia really establishing themselves and really showing what kind of a force that they have. And Stapleton kept the legs moving and went in standing up.
He will attempt the extra point as well here out of Ryskoski's hold. Plenty of leg on this one, and it is good. So Stapleton 2 for 2 on extra points, and he has both touchdowns as well. With 50 seconds to play here in the second quarter, it is Waconia 14 and Cooper nothing. See, somebody had a decent shot at him early, but he just spun right through that one.
Right, and they're just, again, except for that one power play that they ran, Jay, they're pretty much just running big on big blocking, and that was a pretty big hole right there for Stapleton to run through.
Yeah, certainly we've praised their backs, but you have to give a lot of credit. There's definitely some holes being open, and that's what you like to see if you're a back. If they can get you through that initial line of scrimmage, and then you've got some momentum, you can hopefully, for the running back's sake, make somebody miss, and that's what he did.
Yeah, you get to that second level, and then you can let your athleticism kind of take over. Stapleton has a very explosive leg, Jay. When I was talking to the head coach before the game, he was 11 out of 14 last year on field goals.
This time kicks it higher and deeper. Law drifting back to take it on the 3-yard line, looking to get to the edge here, and he'll be wrapped up just over the 20 at about the 22-yard line. And so Cooper, not a whole lot of time to work with here, obviously at 44 seconds. I mean, you'd like to be aggressive, you'd like to really get it down the field, but you also, need to be a little bit careful not to turn it over in this spot.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you got to right. And the other thing that I've been that sometimes gets overlooked is the pursuit by Waconia on kickoffs. They show really, really good lateral speed and have kept Cooper kind of bottled up.
Russell looking to throw, flares it out and complete. And a hard hit, but it should be enough for the first down as Khalil Borden takes that pass.
Yeah, a little bit of a swing pass. Nice little safe play for the sophomore quarterback, and 24 does the rest.
About a dozen there for Borden. Just the second first down for Cooper tonight. So a really good way to start that drive. You get yourself, out on the field a little bit better and a nice gainer, and maybe give yourself a chance to try and get something downfield a little bit. Gonna go same play other way.
Same play other side.
Borden wrapped up by Hedberg and crew. And a timeout will be taken by Cooper here as Borden picking up about 5 on that reception.
Will that be after this? Will that be one timeout left for Cooper then, Jay, or will they have 2 left? Not sure.
I don't recall them taking one earlier. Now that unfortunately does not appear to be something they have on this new scoreboard.
I was peeking at the scoreboard and I couldn't find it.
So second down and about 5. Yeah. I believe that was their first one that they had taken, because that one, the one earlier was Waconia.
Yeah, at some point, and I know exactly what they're doing here with their young quarterback. At some point, though, they're probably going to have to throw the ball vertically, Jay. At least to try to get down there in scoring position. Empty this time, Jay. 5 receivers.
Russell stepping up. Now he does fling it down the middle of the field, and it is complete to Borden at the 31 of Waconia. 30-yard gain and another timeout for Cooper. Boy, he stepped up and got quite a bit on that ball over the middle, and Borden was ready.
Stepped up and just gunned it. Yeah, just showing real good confidence for the sophomore quarterback.
Not really too bad at coverage either, but just had a step or so on Jaeger.
Right. I think the first time tonight, Jay, that they went 5 wide and they went empty that time, and really paid dividends for them.
And when you consider the situation too, I think it's very much was worth the gamble. I don't want to say it was a big gamble, but it doesn't hurt you that much if that ball gets picked off in this spot with this little time left. I mean, it's a good decision to go for it there if you're Joe Russell.
Right. If the ball would have gotten tipped or something and picked, it operates just as if it was a punt. And again, they're empty again, Jay. Going 5 wide again. Trips to the right.
Russell stepping up, and this time he's going to be dumped. Tried to work his way through that first wave, but Kahlenberg able to get him.
One thing I saw on that play, Jay, I was watching the quarterback all the way. It was almost as if he was going to run the ball right away. He didn't seem to give the receivers a lot of time to work, and I think he probably had a little bit more time there than maybe he thought.
Yeah, and that's very typical, I think, of a young quarterback. You see that, you know, they feel the rush a little bit quicker and didn't realize probably that. I agree, that looked like he might have gotten out of there a little sooner than he needed to.
Yeah, he kind of gave up on the play, I think, a little bit early. But again, you know, that's what a sophomore quarterback will do from time to time.
So now Cooper out of timeout, 2nd and 11, only 14 seconds to go. So they're going to need to get something thrown down the field or a catch and run. They don't, probably only time for a couple plays at most.
Right. Yeah, they should stay away from the middle of the field here, Jay. Work the sidelines, work maybe some, even a quick out, deep out.
Russell's going to step up and fling it toward the end zone, has a man open, and it's a touchdown.
Wide open over there.
Wooten was waiting for that one to come down, and he's got it. Wow, an impressive drive for Cooper as they're able to score the touchdown with minimal time remaining.
I love the way that Russell, and again, we were talking about earlier where he kind of gave up on the play. This time he had his eyes downfield, and I think it might have been his 2nd or 3rd read, Jay, and then he found the guy over in the right corner. Really nice play by the quarterback.
And Wooten, you could see, was just waiting for that ball to get there as the defender closed in. He was pretty wide open, but obviously when you're throwing that ball, you know, 35 plus yards from the backfield, it takes a while to get there, and they're going to go for 2. Handoff to Borden, and that one is snuffed out immediately, as well defended there by the Wildcats, and Eric Grunewald will get to him and bring him down. So Cooper with an exciting drive to cut the deficit now to 14-6. They're stopped on the 2-point try, but here's a look at the play that got him on the board.
He kind of looked to his left at first, and then he found Wooten over there on the right. Beautiful.
And you can see the defenders had kind of started to shade, you know, toward the middle of the field there, and just a little too late getting there.
That's a really good job of him using his eyes to kind of move people around, and then he comes back to Wooten on the right side. That's not playing like a sophomore quarterback. That's playing like a senior right there, Jay.
Yeah, and a nice throw too. There wasn't, you know, granted he was wide open, but he was near enough to the sideline that you had to have some precision to that ball, or it could have been drifting out of bounds. So the Hawks fans getting something to cheer about late in the half after Waconia had kind of controlled the second quarter up to that point. McAnally with the return out over the 40. Ooh, and the clock will stop with just 0.5 of a second to go. Thought the play might have run out, but Waconia will get one last play if they want to try and do anything with it here.
Yeah, I would suspect they'll probably take a knee and call it a half, wouldn't you, Jay?
I would think so, or at least go with something real safe in terms of just handing it off, but we'll see. I think both teams will have something to be happy about there. Waconia had kind of gotten some nice drives going, taking command of this one, but then Cooper answering with a real nice march, especially considering how little time was left.
Cooper's dropping kind of in quarters coverage, so
they will hand it off to McAnally, and he will be stopped for a short loss, and that will, in fact, bring us to halftime here. So an exciting second quarter, scoreless after one, but then we got a couple touchdowns in the last minute of the first half, one for each team, and Waconia will be taking a 14-6 lead into halftime of this one. So it'll be an entertaining second half coming. I think the teams overall have acquitted themselves pretty well considering it's the first night of play.
They really have, and got to be a big confidence builder for Cooper right near the end of the half there, Jay. Big, because it kind of looked like Waconia was starting to have their way with them a little bit with their ground game, etc. And Cooper had pushed him back, and then Waconia made a couple nice runs to get it down there and put that second touchdown on the board, and so it's got to be a big confidence builder near the end of the half for Cooper. So as you said, both teams got to feel pretty good about this first half of football.
Always kind of an exciting time when school just about to start, and we got a good crowd that filtered in here. Obviously, the kids not in school yet, but a lot of them have made their way here, along with lots of parents and extended family and all of that. Alumni probably too a little bit here for the Hawks. Let's go down to Allie now. She's with Coach Shea.
Coach, it took a whole lot of marching down the field to finally get those 2 rushing touchdowns in the second quarter. What'd you like about your offense in the first?
Well, we started slow, but we got into a groove there a little bit. Our guys, I think, came out with a little bit of jitters. We settled down a little bit, and we were able to play our kind of football, which is, downhill running game. Yeah.
Your defense was playing pretty tight there throughout the first half, led up that 1 touchdown late there. What do you want to see out of them in the second?
I want to see what they did for the 23 minutes and 30 seconds of that first half. So that final couple of plays right there, a couple of blown coverages. We just got to do a better job of locking that stuff in. And I'm proud of our defense. They're going to be fine.
You see the guys loosening up a little bit, feeling a little more in the groove?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie, and thanks to Coach Shea. We'll be hearing from Coach Howard as well coming back into the second half. So we are at halftime of this season opener here from Barbara A. Lehman Stadium at Cooper High School. Waconia 14, Cooper 6. We will be back with more of our coverage here of high school football on CCX.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother ya?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
You don't have to be so strong.
Strength is not optional. This is my mother, my purpose. Real muscle is lifting her spirits between bedpans and bad news from doctors that doubt her strength. Strength is buried in bills, managing meds, and swallowing those moments of, Mom, it's me, your daughter. Remember? My strength is super, but I'm still human, right?
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
Wow, does that look good? We can smell it from up here, too. They're grilling them up here at Cooper High School. An opening night of the 2019 season. Thanks so much for joining us, along with Joe Basil and Ellie Mosley, I'm Jay Wilcox, and Cooper football here for 2019. Now trailing at 14-6 at halftime, as the first quarter was a lot of defense, but then we saw some more offense in that second quarter, certainly, as Waconia got their ground game going. As we check out some highlights from the opening half, everybody pumped up here for opening night of play, and you see the variety of jerseys there. All different sorts there in the Cooper crowd. Russell throwing a quick early completion there as he was able to find Manasseh Williams. And then Russell, though, is sacked as Hedberg able to get to him. Little sweep action here. Wiskoski, I should say, carrying it there for Waconia. And Courier didn't throw it a lot in the first half, but a couple of key completions, including that one to Jack Fritz. And then it is Stapleton taking it in, getting in for the touchdown. Stapleton that time was a big run and then attacked on a personal foul. Now they missed the completion attempt over the middle there, but nice run by Sherrod Russell. But then another nice march going for Waconia, and Stapleton able to finish it off. So he had 2 touchdowns and 2 extra point kicks. But Cooper really coming back nicely late in the half, and this was a huge completion to Borden over the middle to set them up for an opportunity to maybe get on the board. And that's exactly what happens when Joe Russell finds Cornelius Wooten there right along the sideline and in for the touchdown. That one came with only 7 seconds to play before the half. So you get a look in the kind of lopsided one way in rushing yards and lopsided the other way in passing yards. Maybe not a huge surprise. Cooper put a lot of that up on that last drive, obviously. They hadn't really done a whole lot offensively prior to that. Just the one turnover, the fumble by Waconia. So we've got a lot of football to go here, and that end of that first half kind of changed things around an awful lot as both teams scored a touchdown in the final minute. And we'll see how that translates into half number 2. We'll take a timeout. We will come back with more here from Cooper High School. It's the opening of the football season here on CCX.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
Welcome back here to Cooper High School. The Hawks Marching Band getting their opportunity to perform here on opening night. And we talked about the players probably being glad it wasn't scorching hot here tonight. That's another group that oftentimes suffers on these August nights is the band. And they put an awful lot of work into getting ready for the season as well. And we'll listen to them for just a little bit here. there's a look at that Cooper band. We talked about the shuffle a little bit here for Cooper and the sub-district that they're a part of this year. So some different opponents that you might note on their schedule this year because of that. And you see the Suburban Red, Richfield and St. Louis Park moving out. Cooper moves in. So that's a pretty tough group to be in with Holy Angels, and we'll see Benilde and Orono Friday night on CCX too. So if Cooper fans want to get a look at them, and maybe some of their fans looking in at this one tonight too. So I think fair to say that Cooper's going to have more close games this year than they've had a few opponents in their previous sub-district that were maybe not quite at their level, that they were able to kind of walk through a little bit. And I think they'll be challenged pretty much every night with this group of teams. And Waconia is part of the Suburban White, and you see that St. Louis Park gets added there, and Kennedy moving out of it. So they've got Waconia down in that kind of southwest metro with Chaska and Chanhassen, and some pretty good opponents. That's a pretty good grouping of teams there too. St. Louis Park has come back to becoming a pretty respectable program again here in these last couple of years, and in fact we saw them in the snow 2 seasons ago beat Cooper in the section championship game here at Cooper High School. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be coming back with the start of the second half in just a moment here. Waconia leading Cooper 14-6.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Welcome back to Cooper. Let's go down to Allie.
Coach, I know it took a little while to get that offense starting to spark, but that huge touchdown by Wooten kind of had to give you guys a little more breath of fresh air heading into halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't start as fast as we wanted to, and anytime you have a young group, they got to be able to see that they can do it. So hopefully that's a sign that we can do it. We were able to defer. We won the coin toss, so defer. See if we can do something second half and get started going.
There's so much to learn about a team in the first game of the season. You've been through one half. What's one thing you've learned so far about your team?
They're not going to give up. They're willing to come on the sideline, make adjustments, being able to use our technology to be able to see exactly what the adjustments are, and they're very coachable right now, so we're going to see what it looks like.
Who do you want to see step up just a little more in the second?
I want my seniors to step up. This is their first game as a senior, and I want to make sure that they take care of business.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. And Allie, as Cooper, it'll be interesting to see, Joe, you and I were talking about a little bit. Obviously, they've got a little bit of work to do to slow that Waconia ground game. We'll see what adjustments they make there, or if they're just, going to ask their guys to get off blocks a little bit better, or what exactly they'll do. Because I think there can be a danger of overreacting and, trying to get too excited about stopping people at the point of impact, and then you might overrun things a little bit.
When Cooper has committed the extra guy, inside or in the box, as we say, between the offensive tackles, Jay. They have stopped Waconia's ground game, and if I'm Cooper, I'm going to go ahead and make Waconia throw the football a little bit, because obviously that's what they want to do, is run downhill. So I think I'm going to look for that adjustment by Cooper, putting that extra body in the box this half.
I think it's interesting, too. Besides it being the very first game of the season, it's possibly the first meeting ever between these two programs. None that we could find, and Coach Howard said, since he's been here, definitely haven't, and I can't remember a time prior to that. It may be the first time that they've ever played, too, so you don't have as great of a feel. I mean, obviously, you can watch a lot on tape, but to actually see them on the field, get a little bit better feel for them.
One of the things that Coach Shea from Waconia, when I talked to him pregame, he said that he watched the Spring Lake Park Cooper playoff game quite a bit, and coming into this game and preparing, and because of the similar styles of Spring Lake Park and his team, and he said he learned quite a bit from that, and I think we're seeing that play out, at least on offense, from Waconia.
And obviously, it's a good thing and a bad thing when it's opening night. You have people so hyped up. They've been waiting for this for so long. It feels like a lot of times, though, in the second half is when you kind of settle in and it just becomes another game where you're trying to do the things that you've been taught and that you've worked on all summer and everything. Whereas sometimes in that first half, you're just so fired up to be out there that you maybe get a little ahead of yourself on some things.
I actually thought, and I think we alluded to it a little bit the first half, I was actually pretty impressed with both sides. Not a lot of procedural penalties, and I think both teams showed quite a bit of poise in the first half for being the first game of the year, Jay.
Yeah, I would agree. Law heading back deep to return this one. Borden flanking him along with Keaton. Again, Stapleton is the kicker for Waconia.
He seems to be kicking the ball to about the 3-yard line when he really gets his leg into it. Ooh.
Another good kick here, and he'll drive this one back into the end zone. So a touchback. No chance for the return there for Cooper, although Waconia has covered kicks pretty well tonight anyway. So 1st and 10 from the 20. We'll see if Joe Russell and the Hawks offense can kind of pick up where they left off. They hadn't really done a whole lot until that last drive, and the two big completions. The one over the middle to Borden, and then obviously the touchdown toss to Cornelius Wooten.
Yeah, and I would suspect, Jay, that they'll go back to pretty much their original game plan. It'll be maybe kind of a 50-50 run-pass situation here, and so we'll see what they come out with. Stacked receivers, Jay.
Hand off to Sherrod Russell, and he is wrapped up after a short pickup there. Tackle made by Luke Marquardt for Waconia, and that'll be a gain of 3, maybe 4. It looks like 4 yards they'll give him on the play.
That's the first time we saw that twins formation, kind of a tandem stack situation, Jay. First time tonight, so we'll see if they come back to that, or maybe run some of their passing game off of that.
Back to Sherrod Russell. This time he is stacked up and driven back. Waconia played that one very nicely up front. First guy to meet him there and help to drive him back was Benjamin Christians. And a loss on the play for the Hawks.
Yeah, just not anything there that time. Just not anything. They completely closed the door right away. 3rd and relatively long here. Obviously a passing down, I think, for Cooper on this one, Jay.
3rd and 6. Kind of already a relatively important 3rd down, even though we're so early in the half. Russell rolling to his left, throws in a nice catch. Good adjustment to the ball there by Law. And he will haul this one in for a first down out near midfield. Just to the 45, but a pickup of 21. This was a nice catch. He really had to adjust to this ball.
Yeah, and a really nice job of Russell kind of dropping it in between two defenders on that, Jay. That kind of what we used to kind of call kind of a side pocket throw. I loved how he got his shoulders nice and square and dropped it in there.
Got a chance to meet Joey Law this summer as part of the Workout Warriors series I did. They liked his work ethic in the summer training program, so good to see him getting that to pay off here tonight. And this one driven back as the handoff taken by Terrence Matthews, a sophomore. They said to probably see 3 tailbacks tonight, and Matthews the third of them right there, but he will lose about 3 on the play.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jay, just too much penetration. And that time, the big fella, Bennett Weber, the nose guard, showing some of his leverage skills and some of his wrestling skills that convert over to football and getting in that backfield.
Boy, wrestlers always make such good tacklers, it feels like.
They really do. They really do. They're masters of leverage.
Russell throwing it out, completing it. A nice move initially there as Law made the first guy miss, but good pursuit behind it for Waconia, and he'll only get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Waconia shows pretty good speed, Jay, going east-west and running people down, because a lot of times that I know from watching Cooper in the past, that bubble screen can give defenses problems.
3rd and 10 here for Cooper on their 45-yard line. Pressure coming, and Law is going to be sacked. He got able to slip through the first wave a little bit, but then Kienholz was there, and Kienholz is shown to be a pretty sure tackler here tonight.
Yeah, and at first, Kienholz just kind of held his ground, almost sort of a spy situation, I think, Jay. Maybe he was spying the Cooper quarterback and made the play.
Yeah, and you love that when your guys up front get pressure, and then it's almost like they bring him to you.
Exactly.
Williams booting it away, a high but short kick, but it takes a nice bounce for Cooper, and will be down at about the 27-yard line. So about a 33-yard punt when you include the roll there, and no return attempt. So Waconia will get the football back here with 8:15 to go in the third, leading at 14-6. Again, all of our scoring has come in the second quarter of this one, including a touchdown each way in the last minute of the first half.
Yeah, and again, it'll be interesting to see on their first series what really not too many surprises from Cooper on their first series, wanting to establish the run a little bit and then give their young quarterback some confidence throwing relatively short routes. We'll see what Waconia does here. Their personality, of course, is to run the ball.
Hand off to Stapleton, and he is tripped up here. Let's see where they'll spot this. Not much of a gain, maybe a yard and a half.
Not much at all, really. Cooper did a nice job of stuffing that. Almost kind of mirrored the first play of the game, I think, when Waconia was trying to establish the run a little bit. Cooper had some success stuffing the run.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9 here for Waconia. Stapleton unofficially 79 yards rushing in that first half. They did a good job against him early, but then they started to get some things going where he was picking up some 6s and 8s and 9s. Back to Stapleton here, and he's tripped up. Looked like that one had a chance to go quite a bit further. He'll end up picking up about 4.
Yeah, and I think Cooper, like we were talking about, Cooper has committed that 7th person in the box, Jay, and they know that Waconia wants to run the football, and so it's kind of a classic 4-3-7 in the box situation and playing man on the outside.
A 3rd down and 5 here for Waconia. For a lot of teams you might say a passing situation, but not necessarily for them. We saw quite a few times in the first half where they felt comfortable and confident in running it in this kind of spot.
Right, not necessarily for these guys.
And let's see, is this a timeout or a penalty? It's going to be a timeout taken by the Wildcats.
Yeah, probably saw something, or maybe they just weren't getting lined up properly. Again, first game kinds of things going on, or maybe they saw something with the Cooper defense that they didn't like with the play they had called. So probably a good timeout.
Well, we said our opener football-wise, we've already had some good action volleyball. And here's what we've got coming up here on CCX. Orono at Benilde football Friday night. And then after the Labor Day holiday, we've got Lakeville North at Champlain Park in a high-powered volleyball matchup Wednesday the 4th. And then again next week, we've got back-to-back nights of football instead of just one. Kind of a two-for-one deal again next week. Armstrong at Hopkins on Thursday, and then Wayzata hosting Edina on Friday night. So we look forward to another great fall season here on CCX, and thank you for joining us for this one, and we hope to see everybody tuning in for lots of broadcasts this fall again here on CCX. Well, we'll see what Waconia has in mind here, and 3rd down and 5. They will go to Stapleton on the ground, sweep to the left, and he'll have the first down. Able to drag a tackler with him a little bit there as Ramon Arrington brings him down, but nice pickup will give them the first down out to the 47-yard line.
And they set that up early on, Jay. They've been running Oskalski, I believe, number 16 on the jet and having some success. And that time they faked it and handed it to the back behind him, and Oskalski led the way for the first down. Riskalski, I'm sorry. Thank you. I just put a new person on the Waconia roster.
So they get a fresh set of downs to work with as we tick toward the halfway point of this 3rd quarter. 1st and 10, Wildcats. Keep it on the ground here, and it's Samuel McAnally this time handling it, the junior, older brother of Max.
Coach Shea told me that they would, several times tonight, they would run from a too tight end situation, and that's exactly what they did there. Had that added blocker and picked up nice yardage there, Jay, on first down.
Yeah, give them a gain of 6 on the play.
They're starting to get that rhythm again, that downhill run rhythm that Waconia wants to do to you.
Now back to Max McAnally, and nice penetration there as Akindele gets in there to make the stop for Cooper. He's one of their best returning players for sure on the defensive side of the ball, and he does a nice job there. Raheem getting in, got him around the jersey, and had enough strength to pull him down.
Really, really a nice job by Raheem on that one, 56. And not only slowing him up, but actually making the play and finishing him off.
Short loss on that carry, so bring up a 3rd down, about 5 here for the Wildcats.
2nd, 3rd, and 5 situation for Waconia here, Jay.
Fakes the handoff this time. Courier rolling right, throws, and it's tipped away. Nice job to get there defensively by Wooten as he just got a piece of that one.
Yeah, they actually pulled the backside guard to help on pass protection on that and had it set up, but the Cooper did a real nice job of batting that away.
Yeah, Wooten cutting underneath this one, and he gives some credit to it. Would be easy for them to have gotten sucked in by that play fake, since considering how well Waconia has run the ball.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just gets the punt away, and it's a high, short kick. Cooper needs to get away from that thing.
Yes, they do.
They're going to pick it up. I'm not so sure that was the play to make there, but Arrington held on to that ball. I mean, yeah, it worked out okay, and I could see the temptation to do that, but when you're surrounded by those guys, I don't know about that one.
I think Coach Howard is having a real quick meeting with as number 10 ran off the field there, Jay, on that one. A little quick coach him up on that special teams play.
Yeah.
Willie Howard takes a lot of pride in his special teams. I coached with him a couple of years ago in the All-Star game, and he loves to coach special teams.
Sherrod Russell ahead of steam up the middle, ridden down from behind there by Keenholtz, but boy, that was one of Cooper's best blocked runs right off the bat, as he'll pick up about 8, and that's the kind you love. No, I'm sorry, it's going to be more than 8. He'll get the first down. That's the kind you love as a back, when you can just be at full speed and not have to make any cuts initially there.
Yes, exactly. And a real quick back hits the hole, real quick hitter. Probably some type of trap or power play.
They come back with Russell on the ground. This one defended quite a bit better, as he'll pick up just a couple on the play.
You know, so far, Waconia has shown to be a somewhat, except for that end of the first half situation with Cooper, kind of a bend but don't break kind of situation against Cooper's run game.
Joe Russell rolling to the right, floating it out there, and he'll have the completion. Jackson Howard, the freshman tight end and son of Coach Willie Howard. He's also a quarterback, but he's such a good athlete, they're using him at tight end.
Really, really nice touch, I thought, on that one, Jay, because Waconia brought their left side inside linebacker, I think number 32, Max Kalenberg, and he just got it over his outstretched hands. Really nice touch on that one.
Here's a 3rd down and 2 now for Cooper. Gonna keep it on the ground, and a nice cut. Here comes Borden. Or check that, not Borden, but Matthews taking that handoff, and he'll have the first down with ease. Pickup of 8 yards and a first down at the 46.
Yeah, now it's Cooper kind of shuffling their backs as Coach Howard told us they were going to do, and getting nice production out of all of them.
Big first down there for Cooper for field position and for their confidence too, I think. Back to Matthews, and this time it's snuffed out. Wow. As Kalenberg almost was ready to take that handoff himself. He was in there so early and forces the loss.
Yeah, and I think, again, we're talking a little bit about first game. I think we're seeing 1 or 2 positive plays, and then, maybe kind of a neutral or negative play, and it's tough to get that consistency going, because the run game is all about rhythm and consistency and of course blocking.
2nd down and 13. Russell getting pressure, throws over the middle, and it is complete. Law with the reception, and he will have a first down inside the 40 of Waconia.
Really good job by Russell, I thought, under some pretty good pressure that time, Jay. Again, Waconia is starting to blitz their linebackers a fair amount, and number 12 steps up in there and guns it in, much like that throw at the end of the first half.
And another case where it wasn't just somebody walking around wide open. He was not open by much.
No, he was pretty well covered.
Hand off Sherrod Russell, got a little bit going early and then is wrapped up. Ball came out, but he was already down, or at least his forward progress stopped there.
I think the other thing that gets overlooked with quarterbacks quite a bit, Jay, is the footwork. And I've been really impressed by Russell's footwork this evening. You build quarterbacks from the ground up, and I really like the footwork of the young man.
Be 2nd and about 7 here for Cooper. Hand off to Sherrod Russell, trying to break through an arm tackle, and then finished off in physical style there by Bennett Weber, kind of pancaking him down, but good job to make that first tackler miss. That certainly makes this a more manageable third down coming up.
Exactly. And he kept, because it didn't look good at first. It looked like he was going to be pretty well stonewalled at first, and then he fell forward at least for a yard or two.
We'll call it 3rd down and 5 as we march toward the end of the third quarter. Cooper down 14-6, but have a nice drive going. Throwing it out in the flat. It is complete, and a nice cut up the field there by Dante Williams, the sophomore. And he will pick up enough for the first down. Gain of nearly 10.
Yeah, got to move the sticks. I thought we might see a little play action, and then the hot screen over to 82 and move the chains.
Nice mix of plays here, and Cooper with a first down at the 27 of Waconia as we're under a minute to play in the quarter. Here's Borden trying to bounce it around the edge, got through the first tackler, and then wrapped up and dropped there by Stapleton.
Really nice job, Jay, of keeping the play alive and kind of using some jitterbug steps there to, extend that thing to the sideline and keep it a positive play.
Borden's come up big as a receiver a couple times tonight. That's his first time carrying the ball on the ground, and he gained 5. So 2nd and 5, you see the time winding down as he might have a little bit of a cramp issue there going.
Yeah, it looked like it did. It looked like it did when it came to the sidelines, Jay.
Hand off here, and a tackle broken, getting to the edge, down the sideline, and just short of the goal line is Matthews. And Cooper will be in business inside the 5-yard line, 1st and goal.
And again, Matthews did a lot of this on his own, I thought, Jay. A lot of it on his own as he gets to the edge and then almost scores.
1st and goal, only 1 second to go in the quarter, so barring a penalty, this will be the last play of the quarter. Cooper would love to see it end on a touchdown here. No, they did restart the clock, I'm sorry, as they put it back into play here. So quarter ends, Cooper threatening. They're still down 14-6, but they're on the doorstep here. After 3, Wildcats 14, Hawks 6. The 4th quarter's up next. More to cheer about here of late again for Cooper's fans as they have pushed the ball down inside the 5-yard line of Waconia as we change ends and get set to begin quarter number 4. And Cooper trailing at 14-6, but certainly looked like they could be on the verge of punching one in and trying to tie it up.
Yeah, I like the mix. I like the mix of plays. Little hot screen, little throw the ball vertical, and of course, the runs that are making money for Cooper. In the pistol this time, Jay.
Russell will hand it off, and that one's going to go nowhere as Matthews ran into a brick wall and then was driven back. We'll see how much forward progress they give him on this one. And that is going to be a pretty healthy loss. Looks like about a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, they really did shove him back quite a. The pistol didn't fool Waconia at all. That's for sure.
Well, and I think Matthews. I mean, it's understandable why he did it, but I think the fact that he tried to look like he was trying to escape backward there, they pushed that full yardage back, and now we have a player with a cramp for Waconia. I spoke too soon by saying, well, it's not so hot, so they shouldn't be having any cramps tonight, because we've seen now one on each side here in the last couple of minutes.
Right. And that's fairly typical for, again, first game situation.
We talked about in past years that cramps are a funny thing. They just can hurt like mad for a moment, and then all of a sudden you kind of get it rubbed out and everything feels back to normal again.
The other thing that I learned over the years too, and we're not at that part of the season, that'll come later on, but when you play indoors, you're just as susceptible to it, Jay, sometimes. You think you're inside in a controlled climate situation, but no, you have to start hydrating and keep hydrating all year long.
And I do think it's a little more prevalent on turf fields too, although, there's obviously a ton of benefits in terms of keeping the field in good playing shape all season long, because you don't have to really do much of anything to make that happen. But I do think there's, just a little bit more leg cramps when you are playing on turf, even though this turf is very nice and new.
Right. Yeah, I thought it was brand new, and I think Allie told me that maybe it's 3 years old.
Yeah, it's been here a couple of years now, but it's still in great shape. And that, the kind of the progression of more grass-like turf you can really see on these ones that have put it in the last couple of years.
Exactly.
So Benjamin Christians helped over the sideline, and obviously his calf was cramping up here. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go here for Cooper, but they're pushed back to the 9 after that loss. And that one, let's see if that ends up hurting him much, that 2nd down play.
Trips to the near side here, Jay. Trips to our side.
Russell looking, fires, and incomplete. Tried to go to Wooten here on the left side, away from the trips, and just didn't quite connect.
Just a little bit off the mark on that one. I've always thought that the slant is one of the toughest patterns to throw, one of the toughest routes to throw, and again, I think Russell, he'll get better as the season goes along on that. Just a little off the mark.
Well, and I always feel like too, you practice slants a lot of times and you know exactly what you want to do, but then when you're in a game, the defenders aren't necessarily where you want them to be, and you have to alter it a little bit. Firing the other way, and this one is going to be good for the touchdown. David Connors hauls it in. Didn't have a lot of room to sneak that one in, but Russell able to throw a bullet low, and Connors able to go down and get it. That was a nice catch.
Very nice catch, and they went, obviously they're going to go for two again, I would think, on this one, Jay, but well, we'll probably see it on the replay, but they went trips again, and I think the young man almost kind of like a basketball move where he kind of just shielded it and nobody else could get it but him. We'll see it on the replay. It came out of their trips formation again, though.
Obviously, Cooper going to go for 2 here, down 14-12. They went for 2 the first time and did not get it. See what they have in store here.
Tight end left, Jay, on this one.
Russell looking for the corner of the end zone to Wooten, and that one is incomplete. Pretty well defended. Looked like they maybe weren't quite on the same page of where that ball was going to go, and he kind of got turned around and didn't really give him much of a chance on this one. There's the touchdown, though, as Connors did a heck of a job holding that ball.
Yeah, he did.
And really, for Russell, you know, you look at it and at first you say he threw the ball low, but that's where he had to throw it. That was a great read on his part.
And that's the classic, either my guy's going to get it or nobody's going to get it, Jay. And in this case, you know, Cooper scores off of it.
Let's go down to Allie.
Yeah, guys, Coach Patterson was really heated with Russell after that incomplete pass. He brought him in. He said, I don't want to see that again. Sent him back out, gets that 9-yard touchdown. Before the game, he was saying, yeah, you know, we've got this younger, inexperienced quarterback, but this kid is a natural leader. He said he's not the most vocal, but he commands in the huddle, and that's something that they're really looking forward to over the next couple of years with Joe Russell.
Thanks very much, Allie. And Tony Patterson is really kind of an unsung, you know, Willie Howard obviously has done a great job with this program. And Tony Patterson is their offensive coordinator and has done, you know, assumed some of the head coaching type responsibilities a little bit too. And he's done a great job with their program as well. And they've got, you know, it's never just the head coach. There's got a good people around you, as you well know too, Joe.
Oh, absolutely. All good programs have good assistant coaches, and And good head coaches should delegate and let them coach, and good things will happen.
There's a look at Connors, the young receiver, went down and got that one. So great news for Cooper on the finishing the drive, but again, they don't get the two-pointer to go. So Waconia is still holding the lead, but it kind of feels like Cooper has the momentum now. What happens right away on this drive is, going to be pretty big for as far as the rest of the game.
Exactly, and I think what the young man Russell was going for on that two-point conversion, he's going for the back shoulder fade on that. And that takes a lot of time to. You got to work with your receivers a long time on that one, Jay.
First down handoff, and we've got a flag down on the play right at the point of the tackle here. See if this one might be like a face mask situation, or.
Yeah, the flag came right in as the ball carrier was going down, didn't it? Right at it.
McAnally took that handoff here, and see what we've got on the. I haven't seen the preliminary signal here yet.
Well, we'll see. This is, of course, where you find out what you're made of. Was a face mask, Jay.
5-yard penalty from the end of the run. Oh yeah, there was a quick grab of it there, and I think the big discussion was that going to be 5 or 15?
Exactly. So it'll be first and short, I believe, Jay. First and about 2, maybe 1.5. See how Waconia responds here after the Cooper score. Double tight end again, Jay, one wide out.
Courier will hand it off. McAnally will pick up the first down. Not too badly defended, but again, they didn't have very far to go to pick up that first, so he will pick it up. So now both McAnally and Stapleton have carried it 14 times, so they distributed it pretty well. And then you got Sam McAnally and Hedberg thrown in there a little bit, and also Ruskowski.
So there was about 11 minutes, I think, on the clock, Jay, when Waconia got the ball, give or take. And we'll see what happens, what kind of a drive they can put together here.
And the handoff on McAnally, boy, they knocked him back into the quarterback, and that one had no chance.
We used to call that, for the defense, we used to call that a jailbreak. Folks coming from all different directions. That's the kind of gang tackling you like on defense.
And it was, one of the few times too where you've seen a Waconia blocker really knocked back into the backfield, and that really messed up any chance for that one to go anywhere.
And this is where Waconia does not want to be, Jay. Second and long like this, 2nd and 16. That is not what they're geared to do.
Courier will hand it off. McAnally getting some yardage on that sweep, and he's chopped down after crossing midfield, and he may have enough for the first down.
I'd like to see on the replay, I'd like to see what their slot receiver did on this one, Jay. I was kind of peeking in the backfield on this.
Oh, it looks like we've got a flag down though.
Okay.
Right near the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a hold against Waconia, so wipe out that gainer. Yeah, got quite a bit of shoulder pad there.
Yeah. That's Bennett Weber, the young man we were talking about earlier, also plays nose. And I think, and again, first game and everything, that's what you're, he's taught to keep his elbows and arms inside, and he got them outside, and the ref saw it, and there was the call.
So it'll be 2nd down and 20 now for Waconia. They go to Stapleton, got through one tackler, but then a good surge of Hawks to wrap him up at about the 37, give him 4 or so.
Yeah, 3rd and long situation now for Waconia. Again, not exactly their cup of tea. We'll see what they come up with. See if they put the ball in the air or just stay conservative and punt the football, Jay.
Cooper really getting fired up, trying to get their crowd fired up. They can kind of sense, we're coming to crunch time here. There's not going to be too many more possessions either way here, and they really want to get a stop, make a play, and let their offense get back out there and try and take the lead. Courier looking to throw. Deep down the middle, batted, and then nearly caught. Ruskowski was the trail receiver there, and the ball was batted by Keaton, and it nearly went to him.
It really, it almost did. Almost in stride, Jay.
You see Keaton getting the right hand on it, and that would have been a tough ass. He was upset with himself, but that was a really tough one to try and follow up and catch that.
It was.
If you knew it was going to be tipped like that, then maybe, but.
The one little tweak that Waconia did on offense that time, Jay, they went unbalanced for pass protection on their offensive right side. Kind of a little different look for them.
Dvorak punting, and they're not going to be able to field this one. So it takes a good bounce there for Waconia, and we'll be down at about the 23, 22-yard line. So Cooper gets the ball back, 7.5 to go, 7:33 remaining in the 4th quarter. They trail it 14-12, but an opportunity here to try and take the lead for the first time. And it definitely has a feel that is Cooper's momentum right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm thinking, because they haven't really shown it at all, Jay, I'm thinking they're probably going to have to score the touchdown, because I'm not sure they have a field goal kicker. They haven't used anybody to kick extra points, so we'll see as they get close, see what happens.
And a timeout taken before the drive can begin here for Cooper. Not sure they had the personnel they wanted out there, but better safe than sorry in that spot. I mean, sure, you'd like to save the timeouts, but you don't want to put yourself, immediately in a 1st and 15 either.
Right, and Waconia used an early timeout, I think, to kind of get themselves organized in the 2nd half. And, I think it ended up being a good timeout for them. But you're right. You really believe that the Hawks have some momentum and some rhythm going here, and this will be a real good test for the sophomore quarterback. See if he can lead his team down here to victory.
Russell handing off. Sherrod Russell with a nice gap there.
Well, that's how you want to start the drive, too, running the football with Russell there.
He's fired up as he'll pick up the 1st down. You see a good hard run, but well blocked also.
Very nice job. Very nice job over there on the left side by Cooper. They got plenty of time left. They don't have to, definitely don't have to hit the panic button at all, Jay. They've got everything going for them right now.
Their O-line, I think, has gotten in a better rhythm as the game has gone here, too.
I agree. Again, we'll see what Waconia does to counteract that. So far, they're still staying in that 3-4 defense.
Russell throwing deep downfield, a little bit of hand fighting. Cooper asking for a flag. They're not going to get it. Massa Williams was the intended target there.
I think kind of a good no call on that one, Jay. Both guys kind of jostling for position there.
Yeah, I would agree. It's, when you're the receiver, you're kind of feeling like Ruskowski maybe was cutting you off a little, but probably not enough to draw the flag.
Right.
Although, did we have a flag on the play? Looks like we might have. Not downfield near that.
The white hat's coming over. Is he? No. I didn't see the call, Jay.
No, I'm not so sure there was a penalty, but Oh, okay. There's looks like they were checking on the clock situation that it didn't stop right away. So 2nd down and 10 here for Cooper. Going to go to Matthews on the left side, and he is spun around. That's going to be a flag. Might be a face mask. It appeared from up here.
If not a face mask, the back of the shoulder, kind of the back of the shoulder pad. I'm not coming up with that term right now, but
horse collar.
There you go. There you
Looks
go.
like they did say face mask with the back judge coming in. Yep.
It was okay. Here we go.
His head certainly spun, making you think it was.
Oh yeah. Oh
that's
yeah.
definitely
Sure.
a face mask.
Oh yeah.
And it was interesting because the official probably farthest away from it is the one who spotted it, and you could see when he came in, he was adamant that he had the and keep in mind, it's not just the face mask that draws a face mask penalty. If you grab the inside of that helmet where it attaches, that's still considered a face mask.
Right. Yeah, I think the back judge threw that play, didn't he, Jay?
Yep. So a big one there, a 15-yarder will put Cooper into Waconia territory at the 46. Russell flaring it out. Law with the catch. He almost got all the way through that tackle, but it knocked him down, but still a nice game as he'll get 6 or 7.
Yeah, and I think Cooper's doing a real nice job of reading the box too. Waconia had the box really packed that time, and they throw the ball on the outside.
Hand off here, and Sherrod Russell stopped as he crossed the 40 to about the 38. We'll leave him with 3rd and about 3.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do on 3rd and 3. And I would say that we were talking about a little earlier in the game, this is definitely a 4-down situation, I think, especially given the game situation.
Yeah, I would say for sure, especially, you're now inside the 40 and everything, so punting from here is probably very unlikely.
Just don't want to take a loss on this play. I just want to keep it going. Want to keep it going north-south and keep it positive.
High snap, Russell handles it. Here comes the pressure. The ball is up in the air, and Sherrod Russell caught it, but then he is immediately dropped as well. So Cooper, nearly disaster there as Joe Russell took a hit, and then Sherrod Russell catches it.
One of the things I saw early with the young quarterback, Jay, one of the things, and they'll work with him on it as the year goes along, but you saw it on the replay there. He's waving that ball around a little bit too much. A little bit too much waving. You want to keep 2 hands on it and keep it kind of tight to your breastplate shoulder pads.
So Waconia comes up with a big stop, and Williams coming on to punt. A high kick, fair catch called for and made at about the 15-yard line by Ruskowski. Or excuse me, not Ruskowski, that was Jager. And so Waconia's defense able to hold, and now Cooper punting it away and saying, okay, D, it's your turn to get a stop here.
Right. Big hold by Waconia's D on that. And then, of course, now everybody in the ballpark knows that the Waconia wants to basically ran the ball all night. Here's where you really see what kind of run game you have, when everybody knows you're going to run the football. And if I'm Cooper, I'm really packing the box to get that ball back as soon as you can.
First down from their own 15 for Waconia. Handoff going to Stapleton. And strung out and well defended. He'll pick up a few on that play.
Yeah, and they've made a lot of yardage on a similar play earlier this evening on that, Jay, and Cooper did a nice job of kind of bending that thing back in where the defenders were coming from.
Had out a little bit further than I thought. They'll mark it at the 19, so. Under 4 minutes to go here now for Waconia. Back it goes on the ground. Stapleton stacked up. Cooper trying to rip the football free.
Yep, not much on that. And that was again Waconia going back to their two tight end formation to try to just run the ball down Cooper's throat. Cooper did a great job of being stout on defense on that, Jay.
Stopped him pretty much at the line of scrimmage, so big third down opportunity here for both teams, I guess, is Waconia 3rd down and 5. And again, they're in a spot on the field where you really have to be careful with the football here too. It's more, that might be in the back of your mind as a play caller a little bit too.
Exactly. Now they are running this slot formation over to the left. And there's the jet.
And they hand it off to Stapleton, and he is cut down as he tries to leap over the tackle attempt there of, I believe it was Keaton who got down low there.
That was an interesting call. They kind of jet one way and came back the other way, Jay. Kind of a misdirection situation there.
4th down and 2 now for Waconia as we tick down under 2.5 minutes to play. Hard to believe they'd really go for it here. They might be looking to draw him offside, or
maybe run it down all the way here and then punt it. Waconia does have 2 timeouts left. We'll watch the back judge here on the call. When he starts waving his hand. Yeah.
I gotta believe they're not really gonna run this play, are they? Now they're gonna use the timeout. The other issue too, though, you're talking high school football, getting a snap back to your punter and blocking well for him is not a sure thing as much as you might, think if you're watching NFL football on Sundays.
Right, exactly. Anything can happen, with the snap like that, and that would definitely go against the grain for kind of the way Waconia seems to play football anyway. They're gonna hopefully get the punt off and then trust this game to their defense one last time. We'll see Coach Howard out on the field again. Really loves to coach special teams. We'll see if he goes after this punt, Jay.
Waconia's executed pretty well. I mean, the Coopers had some trouble with their snaps on punts, but for the most part, that has not been the case.
Right.
For Waconia.
Right.
Dvorak on the punt.
See what kind of coverage. Waconia is covered pretty well.
Oh, it was a high snap.
It was.
Cooper dropping back into return mode. And for a moment, there was a thought of trying to pick that ball up there, but they thought better of it. So, considering the circumstances, not a bad punt at all, but Cooper will have it at the 43-yard line, 1:41 to go, and a couple of timeouts remaining. And obviously they showed at the end of the first half that they could march the ball up the field in relative hurry there.
Really good field position for Cooper. They got to like their field position. And again, with a minute 41 and 2 timeouts, they can execute their offense here, Jay.
Russell to Matthews, and he dropped it. Let's see who's got it. Waconia thinks they have it.
It's a pretty wild scramble, as there always is on a fumble.
Oh, Cooper gets it back. Wow, that was fortunate. In fact, it's Matthews who wound up with it again. One of the smallest guys out there. You see juggling it right from the get-go. And a Waconia player was kind of first to it, but he overran it, and understandably so. He didn't know, no reason for him to know that the ball was going to be laying there like that.
Plus, I'm here to tell you, Jay, there's lots of funny things happen at the bottom of those dog piles.
Russell. Oh, and he's going to be dropped. Is this a penalty or not, though? It looked like he might have been that horse collar.
Back to the horse collar again, Jay.
Weber will get the sack. The white does not appear to be a flag down.
And the white hat was looking right at it.
no, he got jersey.
Got his jersey.
Good call there. I'm sorry. It looked much different.
It did
at first look with the naked eye there.
In real time, I thought it was a horse collar also, Jay.
So Weber coming up with a huge play there for Waconia. Lose back to the 35-yard line. So bring up a 3rd and 18.
Yeah, this will be, again, we talk about various tests for the young quarterback here. Russell from Cooper. We'll see if they come back to, a similar play that they ran right at the end of the first half there, Jay. They're 2-by-2, so they're not empty like they were at the end of the first half. Let's see what they got.
Russell is going to step up and throw it down the middle of the field, and incomplete. Cooper bench feeling like maybe there was some contact early there, but
yeah, I think maybe they wanted to call on Stapleton on that one. Jay, number 9, possibly coming around. Not sure.
Yeah, he started to wrap that right arm around him, and then he kind of seemed to pull it off.
He did, yeah. Of course, he's Mr. Do-It-All for Waconia, so.
Well, we come down to this now, 4th and long for Cooper. 1:06 to go. Got to go for it, though, in this spot.
Now they went empty, Jay. They went empty on this one.
Russell throws, batted down and incomplete, and Waconia will take over on downs as Grunwald wanted to intercept that one. It doesn't matter, though, as they'll wind up with the football.
Might have went to the well once too often, Jay. I think that was a real if not the same play, a real similar play to what they made money on earlier in the or later in the first half when they scored, when they went empty and kind of went for a deep hitch, and I think Waconia was maybe expecting it a little bit.
So the Wildcats should be able to kneel and take the victory here, if barring anything strange happening.
Yeah, they're in victory formation, Jay. It's always a good sign if you're a Waconia fan. Always interesting to me, though, when you're a gun team and you're in victory like that. And in their case, they still have to use the gun snap, which can be problematic at times, instead of going under center. Interesting.
Cooper battling back hard, and at times it really felt like they might catch and pass Waconia, but give the Wildcats some credit, coming up with a couple of big stops, and obviously the 2-point tries, both unsuccessful, kind of spell the difference in this one. Both teams scoring 2 touchdowns, but Waconia able to kick the extra point on both of theirs. Cooper went for 2 and missed on both of theirs, and now it looks like Cooper is going to use that last time out, it appears.
And I obviously it's early in the season, but if I'm Cooper, Jay, you want to win every game and you want to get that W, but I'm not feeling super terrible. Hopefully the 24-hour rule and they'll get over it. I really like the way, the difference I think between Cooper this year and Cooper last year. They look like I love the way they use all 3 backs, and the fact their run game I thought was fairly strong tonight, and the sophomore quarterback's only going to get better for Cooper.
Well, and we talked about it earlier with their schedule being tougher this year, and even though it's not going to go down as a win, I kind of feel like this type of game might help them more than maybe if they had routed somebody early in the season last year.
I agree. This is Waconia has a nice club here, and I think Waconia is going to feel kind of relieved that they're going to get out of here with a W. This was a really hard-fought game for a first game.
Yeah, it's a good road win for their program for sure too, and certainly an entertaining contest here as we will tick down the rest of the time. And Waconia will hold on for the 14-12 win. Both of their touchdowns coming in the second quarter, and Cooper battling back, trying to tie it up, but they missed on both of their two-point conversion attempts, so that really provides the margin. And again, Joe, a lot to like for both teams, I think, getting a lot to work on too when you watch that first game film.
Yes.
There's times you might be cringing, but it should be a pretty good season, I think, for both of these squads.
No, I think that, as I said, I think they can both feel really good about it. Obviously, Waconia on the winning side of this thing, and both teams have a lot to work on. But I think Cooper's and this tougher schedule, I think, is going to hold them in good stead for tournament time, Jay.
So that'll do it for tonight's game, and we welcome you to join us for Football Friday night as well. As we said, Benilde hosting Orono, and then next week, Armstrong Hopkins and Edina Wayzata as well. Your final score in tonight's game is Waconia 14 and Cooper 12. For Joe Basil, Allie Mosley, and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Cooper.